Okay, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me once again. I know many of you miss me. I really miss you. You know, festive season, so I travel a little bit and lots of stories that came on board and we were not able to cover them. Apology for that. You know, sometimes we just have to cool off the mind to refresh ourselves. So we are back with full energy and solid energy. Now, on the 3rd of January 2026, reports emerged on the internet about coup d'etat which nearly happened in Burkina Faso, and details of the conversation were not revealed. The only thing that was on board is that there is coup d'etat, attempted coup d'etat. The people of Burkina Faso, the youths on the ground heard about it and they protested. They hit the ground in defense of their leader, Ibrahim Traoré. And no details was added. The government did not comment on the whole thing. So the whole thing just leaked out. Even the mainstream media from Burkina Faso was kind of silenced about the conversation. And many people reported this story and added their own narrative and details. They cooked their own details to drive the conversation. But you know, in this platform or on this platform, we value credibility over views. So because of that, and since many people posted it, I said, okay, let me wait for details. So on the 6th of January 2026, the government has revealed the details of the conversation, what actually went on, how the operation was carried, those who are involved, and the agenda. Everything concerning this new attempted coup d'etat is now on board, family. If you are here with me, please, I'll take you through the details of the conversation. And before that, I want you to do one thing for me. Like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to be part of the family. And this is a platform where this is not a content creating platform. This is family house where we come here, we discuss our own house matters. All right. Now, this is attempted coup in Burkina Faso. So the details on January 3rd, 2026, Burkina Faso narrowly. So when they say narrowly, it simply means that it's almost okay. They have escaped not smooth way but rough way, meaning it nearly happened. So Burkina Faso narrowly avoided a major attempt to destabilize its government. The enemy of Burkina Faso is alive and kicking, trying everything possible to destabilize. Now, according to Security Minister Mahamudu Sana, I'm going to project you his picture. Intelligence services uncovered and neutralized the plan before it could be carried out. So the plan was not carried out, but it was in motion to be carried out. And the intelligence services were able to gather intelligence to know that, hey, something is about to happen, and they foiled it. Now, what else? Who are the targets? The target was the authorities of Burkina Faso, not only Ibrahim Traoré. The target wasn't only Ibrahim Traoré. And let me pause here and tell you this before we move forward. Ivory Coast on the 5th and 7th of December, on the 5th and 7th of December 2025, I'm talking about, sent a delegation to Burkina Faso to go and negotiate peace to remove the tension out of the equation. And something is coming on board. In this situation, Ivory Coast is now being mentioned. You see how people can be so cunning and very smart like serpent. Anyway, let's move forward. How Ivory Coast came on board, we'll uncover that. Now, the plot which we are talking about, which nearly happened on the 3rd, which was supposed to actually happen on the 3rd of January and was foiled. The plot aimed directly at top government leaders, not only Ibrahim Traoré, the key leaders of the government, including President Ibrahim Traoré and other senior civilian and military officials. So they are targeting the military officials, the civilian officials who are in key government positions to take them out. So in short, they are trying to take over the entire government and wipe out the entire government. These conspirators plan either a direct assassination or placing explosive at Traoré's residence. So in practical, the plan was in twofold. Number one, to attack directly Ibrahim Traoré and banter with him giddy and then take him out, or placing explosive at Traoré's residence. So they want to blow our man up. They want to blow him up. just for taking over and doing what they were supposed to do. Anyway, let me not rush. This is the structure of the whole plot. Now, authorities in Burkina Faso say, everything I'm putting out there is according to what the Burkinabè authority is saying. I'm not cooking anything on my own. All right. Now, authorities in Burkina Faso says the conspiracy involved two main networks: a military wing to recruit insiders within the armed forces. So, insignificant part of the military, that's what they say, military wing, they agree, or they've come together and structure a plan to recruit insiders, people who have dubious motive inside or within the armed forces. Because Burkina Faso, they are recruiting a lot these days, because the terrorists are also recruiting more. They are also recruiting more to counter and make sure that they win the battle. So that is the first one: a military wing to recruit insiders within the armed forces to carry out operation. A civilian network. That's the second point. The second, a network. A civilian network to mobilize broader support once the operation began. In most countries, when coup d'etat happen, one of the way for you to succeed is to get support from the public. So there is a civilian network around, and these people are mobilizing people whichever way or how they are doing it, I don't know, but they are mobilizing broader support so that once the operation is being carried on, then we are going to see people on the street jubilating over the overthrow of Ibrahim Traore, and the Western media and other media houses will capture it and be showing the world that people are not happy with Ibrahim Traore and the people are now free, the people are rejoicing. You understand? Just like Venezuela, when the president was captured, two things was happening on the ground. There are some civilians who were actually on the street in defense of the president, of the capture of the president, and some also outside the country were jubilating, but the media was projecting those who were jubilating more. You understand? Those who were not jubilating and they were in defense of the country were posted by social media activists and independent bloggers. But mainstream medias focus on those who are jubilating. That is what they want the world to see. You understand? So they were planning these two things, and that is the structure that they carry out, the structure of the entire operation. Now, this is the mastermind behind the whole thing, according to the government. The government of Burkina Faso identify a former Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henri Santiago Damiba, who had previously seized power and was later ousted by Traore as the primary organizer of the plan. This is the man we are talking about. He is currently living in Ivory Coast. I don't know why Ivory Coast is harboring the enemies of Burkina Faso. Blaise Compaoré is there. He's been given shelter, protected. Chairman is also there, being given shelter, protected, and they are all now operating from Ivory Coast. And that is the reason why it becomes difficult for Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso to work together, because you can't be harboring my enemy with me, including the stateless people who are even disturbing the peace of the country. They are giving them shelter over there. So we don't know what exactly the motive of Ivory Coast is, but I would say, use this platform to say that it is high time African Union, you call Ivory Coast to order. It is high time African Union, call Ivory Coast, ECOWAS, call Ivory Coast to order. Because, we can't understand what is going on, by the way. Let's move forward. This man right here, he's accused currently by the Burkinabè authorities of designing the operation, recruiting the collaborators, and mobilizing funds to support the attempt. Several conspirators have already been arrested, including a man named Madi Sankede, who reportedly acknowledged contact with Damiba. So Sankede have confessed that, Damiba is part of the program or the whole operation, and they are in contact with Damiba. So it is not something that the Burkinabè authority is just spewing out. They did their investigation. That was the main reason why from 3rd all the way to But this time I'm putting this video on the 6th, okay, before they were able to release a proper, details of whatever happened and how the operation was carried out. Let's go to further details. Now, this is the funding and the foreign links to this particular operation, which didn't happen. Now, part of the financing was alleged. You know the reason why I put these two people on the screen already. I don't want to tell you about it. You get a revelation, right? Hit the like button for me. Do that. You understand? Beautiful. Part of the financing was alleged to come from outside Burkina Faso. Okay, not only from one channel, but outside Burkina Faso from multiple channels. And report also suggested that around 70 million CFA from reportedly transferred from Cote d'Ivoire to support the operation. Now, what work is Damiba doing that Damiba will get this money without the involvement of some big man out there? Some big man out there. You understand? Some big man out there. Anyway, let's move forward. Because this money sent outside Ivory Coast came to Burkina Faso, to the people on the ground, trying to carry out the operation. So the people were on the ground and were supporting them from Ivory Coast. Meanwhile, on the 5th and 7th, you came to Burkina Faso. You sent delegation to Burkina Faso, and the person they sent, I was having problem with it. Many of you watched that video. I said, why should Ivory Coast, if you truly want peace, why won't you send your foreign affairs minister, and you send this man rather who is in charge of the diaspora integration, blah 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 blah. I'll give you the detail of his name. Why do they have to send that person? I have problem with that actually. And now today, your name is now, in this operation. What's the meaning of that? Now, there is another plan also. There was a plan to destroy the drone base of Burkina Faso. Authorities in Burkina Faso says the plotters also intended to destroy Burkina Faso's drone base, which is a strategic asset. The goal, the purpose, or the reason why they wanted to destabilize the drone base is to weaken defense capabilities of the Burkinabè before a possible ground intervention. Because when you are carrying on such operation and then they pick up the drone, they are going to blow you up. So first thing they need to do is to blow up the drone base so that the drones cannot fly. You know, it's not about destroying the drone, but the base. So you see, the drone have to move from here and fly. Okay, now when you break the channel or the ground, you make the ground rough, you strike the ground, the drone cannot move. It will be in one place. You understand? So that's what exactly they plan on doing. Now, this currently, according to the details, ongoing investigation is on. The security services are continuing investigation to uncover the full extent of the network. Up to now, they are not yet done. This is just the detail they give us. Now, the network, they uncover it from Damiba and money coming in from outside, and they know that now it is in Ivory Coast. So they are going to trace and to get to the last man who also was part of the whole thing. And I believe that in the next few days they could give us a detail about that. And then in this house, we don't hide things, we'll broadcast it there. Now the government says all those involved, including people who were used naively, will be held accountable and face the justice system. That's amazing. You know, once you want to sell the nation out, we don't feel pity for these people. You want to sell the nation out, you want to give the nation up to the enemies. You are going to face the consequences. And one of the things that I love so much is that when the people of Burkina Faso heard of what is going on, they hit the street and they were protesting in defense of their president. That look, and they were chanting, you know, they were chanting what Thomas Sankara was chanting those days, that les ennemis en bas, revolution en haut. Okay, so practically to say that the enemies to go down and the revolution to go up. It means majority of the people are happy. In the night, they hit the street and then all the way to the presidency and then showing support and solidarity. Now, if the people love their leader, and the leader is doing things, even not only the people of Burkina Faso, the entire Africa is into Burkina Faso. You understand? We are all Burkinabè these days. And you want to destabilize the country. How are you going to run the country when the people are not with you? Damiba, how are you going to destabilize? How are you going to run the country when the people that you are going to rule are not with you? That you are going to be a tyrant rather. This man is not a tyrant. He's a builder. He's building the nation. Now, this is where I have problem with Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast recently sent this man named Adama Dasso. Is a minister delegate in charge of African integration and Ivorians abroad for Cote d'Ivoire. They sent this man to come and do peace in Burkina Faso. Okay, to come and de-escalate the tension between Burkina Faso and Ivory Coast. Now, Burkina Faso and Ivory Coast are not moving well. Things are not okay because some of the media houses in Ivory Coast are being manipulated to be saying a lot of rubbish about Ibrahim Traoré. That is number one. Their leaders themselves are manipulating the public, and then they are not being fair in terms of, but I think they are jealous of Ibrahim Traoré. When they hear about the development and things going on in Burkina Faso, they feel intimidated. That one also is part. And secondly, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger is accusing these people on multiple occasions that the stateless people that they are fighting are operating from their ground. And I cannot say the AES is lying, because we have one evidence on the ground, which is the fact that Blaise Compaoré is being given shelter over there. We know what Blaise Compaoré did. We have Damiba right now, who is planning this constant, operation, and is also in there. You understand? And most of the time, all the threats coming to Burkina Faso or the AES, they always accuse Ivory Coast of being involved, whether Ivory Coast is involved or not. But when we look at history, we know where we are going to conclude our conversation. So when they send this man to go to Burkina Faso and have peace and peace talk, not knowing this was in the pipeline before they send the chairman, this thing that happened in Burkina Faso only teaches us one thing to conclude. AES must be afraid or must fear any leader or a country who is dealing with the imperial master. Period. Regardless of what country. We are good, we can have relations and whatever it is. But Burkina Faso cannot trust anybody. Burkina Faso needs to just be careful, including the rest of the AES, Mali and Niger. Anyway, lovely people, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. These are the details that I brought to you. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe, and be part of the family, and put us on notification. All right, see you in the next episode. Respect.